Hello, welcome to my March 2014 video game pickups video. This is going to be a two-parter, and the first part is going to cover the one PS2 game and 6 PS3 games I've got this month. And the second part, which I'll upload at a later date, is going to be something very special, but we'll get to that when the time comes. I just wanted to mention that I did get two games via me signing up to PlayStation Plus. I got Little Big Planet Karting, which is quite good, and also Brothers of Tales Two Sons. Even though I've got it on 360 already, I just thought, what the hell, I might as well download it again, because I kind of wanted to play through it, on the PS3 and see how it compares, really. Okay, and to start off, we have the one PS2 game I got this month, and that is Dynasty Warriors 3, or Dynasty Warriors 3, depending on where you're from. I've never been a huge fan of this series, but I've known people who absolutely love it, and I've always been at least intrigued to try one of them, and from what I've been told, this is one of the better ones, certainly of the older titles anyway. And I've unfortunately not had a chance to play it yet, but it looks pretty fun, so I can't wait to try it. Okay, and for the PS3 games, to start off with, I have Injustice: Gods Among Us. This is one I've been trying to get for quite some time. It's from the makers of the recent and quite good Mortal Kombat reboot from NetherRealm, and they've also developed this game. And it's pretty good so far. I only really bought it to play through the campaign, so it's not a game I'm planning on keeping forever. But it's quite fun so far. I've only played a couple of chapters, but I really like this game. So I can't wait to beat it. Right. Next up, we have Valkyrie Chronicles. This one's quite interesting. It's set in a fictional war, and it's a sort of turn-based strategy game. Probably most similar to Advance Wars on the DS, if you ever played those games before, which are also quite good games. This one's pretty decent so far. I've only played it for an hour, I kind of like it so far. It's not usually the type of game I would play, but I kind of enjoy it. So I can't wait to play more of it. Okay, next up we have DuckTales Remastered. Now, I already have this downloaded on PSN, but I've always wanted to get a physical copy of anything I've downloaded before, because that way I get to pretty much own it forever, basically. I didn't actually know that there was going to be a PAL version released in a couple of weeks from now. Because I actually bought this on eBay for around about £12, which is about the standard price of the game. So I'm still happy with it. I haven't opened it yet, as you can see, but one day I might do. I've actually played the game quite a bit, and really enjoyed it. I absolutely loved the music of the game, especially. I feel that the remastered versions of the classic NES tunes they really sort of enhance them, and I absolutely love all the music from this game. The gameplay is really, really solid, if a little bit difficult for the more casual player. So, it's a really fantastic game. Next up, we have ELEX, the complete edition. Now, I did actually own this previously, twice in fact. I bought the 360 version at launch, and I absolutely loved it. I even bought the season pass for it, and at a reduced price, I believe. So I didn't pay too much for it. And then I decided to get on the PS3 because I didn't really like the disc swapping of this of certain games. The one exception is the Mass Effect series, simply because that's where the series started on the 360. But yeah, I kind of wanted to get the complete edition if the opportunity arose, and I did end up trading a lot of games in, including the original copy of LA Noire I had on the PS3. So yeah, I decided to pick up the complete edition for around £13-14, I believe. So yeah, it's still pretty good value, and yeah, it's a really good game. It's one of the underrated sort of Rockstar games. Not really open world. Well, it is open world, but it's on a much more linear path compared to Grand Theft Auto and Red Dead Redemption. But this focuses more on the investigation type of gameplay, and the interrogations, which are really, really good, and the facial details really hold up even 2 years after this. Almost 3 years after this has come out. So yeah, it's a really interesting game, and it's definitely worth playing to the end, even if the ending itself will probably leave you a little bit unsatisfied. But the journey to get there is still worth taking. And speaking of investigation style mystery games, a very polarizing game, let's just say, but I'm definitely in the camp that absolutely loves it, and that is Deadly Premonition, the Director's Cut. Now, I do actually have the 360 version. I have decided to keep that as well, mainly because that has various difficulty levels, whereas this one actually doesn't. It just has one standard difficulty that you play through, and it actually seems quite easy, which took me a little bit by surprise. I mean, there are some bosses around about halfway through. No, I myself haven't played through this section as of yet, but I've watched other people play it, which has convinced me to buy this version. That they die a little bit too quickly, and in a way I don't mind that, because this particular enemy shows up like 3 or 4 times back to back, and it sort of went on a little bit too long. So I do kind of like some of the changes that they made. They've added additional cutscenes to enhance the story a little bit, although it is noticeable that they're the only parts of the game that have been properly enhanced graphically, because you go back to the original game and it looks kind of the same as it was when it was out on the 360, for example. But yeah, the game itself is the gameplay isn't that great, nor I mean the graphics are very average at best. But what makes this game really shine is its story, and the cast of way the hell out there characters, and the experience that you will have playing this game is, to me anyway, unlike any other that I've played this generation, and I'm very happy that I took the chance in picking it up and playing it. So yeah, I highly recommend this game if you've never played it before. And finally, we have a game that is, to be honest, it's my front runner so far as the best game of so far this year. if I do a top 10, this is definitely going to be high on the list. And that game is South Park: The Stick of Truth. Now you'll notice that I bought the American version. Well, I say US version of the game, which the ironic thing is I actually imported this from Canada of all places. Yeah, I know. But yeah, I'm kind of glad I did, because I was kind of really pissed off with the whole certain sections of the PAL version being censored. So I decided to go that extra mile and import a US copy instead. It did cost a little bit more, but for me it was worth it. I'd rather sort of pay more than be like robbed of some like certain sections that should be in the game in the first place. I'm the person who's like, just cut it out for every version, or don't cut it out at all. Don't treat certain sections of the world like second-class citizens. That's my standpoint anyway, but yours may differ, but yeah, that's absolutely fine. But the game itself is interesting. It reminds me very much of Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door and Legend of Dragoon. Although I've never played it, I've seen the actual combat in the game to sort of take similarities from this game. Basically, it's turn-based, but your like attacks and defense actions are sort of time-based. You have to sort of click a certain button at a certain time to improve your attack or improve your counter or defense abilities. And yeah, it's a really addictive system. It takes a little while to get used to, particularly the defending parts of the game. But yeah, there's a lot of over-the-top special moves and stuff like that, which are very reminiscent of the show. There's a lot of references to certain episodes. The fact that the town itself is for the first time certain parts of the town are set in certain places, so you finally see where certain things are going to be, like in the town, which I think is a nice little touch. It's developed by Obsidian as well, who most famously made the original Fallout games on the PC and Fallout New Vegas. They've made a lot of other games as well, but I think this is definitely one of their better games. There were some issues with going between screens, as in the game was sort of like auto-saving, and the frame rate as you were walking along just went completely down the toilet at times. There was some like audio issues with the music, like sometimes it would cut out in certain battles. I mean, there were one or two small glitches, but other than that, it wasn't really a lot I can sort of make any complaints about, and they didn't really affect the game that much at all. And yeah, it's a really interesting story. Really, really funny moments. Sometimes a little bit too much for some, and I'd be very surprised if you're not offended by certain sections of the game. But yeah, it is definitely one of the best games I've played for quite some time, and yeah, it's going to take a lot for a game to top this between now and the end of the year. But yeah, if you haven't bought it, I highly recommend it. If you're like me and you're from PAL region, then import a PS3 free copy, or if you can, like, play it on the PC. So you get like the definitive version, so to speak. So yeah. Okay, and that's it for part 1 of my March 2014 video game pickups. I hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for part 2, where I unveil something very special that I've been waiting a very long time to purchase. So until that time, this is Skip to the End signing off.